So we're going to stay with this type of learner. Lots of things to learn here. Clean work areas are great. Usually, a tactile kinesthetic, a natural, a solitary learner usually cannot work in a messy environment. Again, remember, dynamic creations, we're going to have different mixtures of different learning styles. So it is not a hard and fast case. This is not a black and white science. But there are typically, on average, more of this type of learner who cannot work in a dirty environment. It has to be clean, it has to be straight and organized, or it just becomes way too visually distracting. If you'll remember little Nicole in the museum with all those lovely shiny objects, she was very distracted, so clearing off the desk helps. That is a clean desk for me. It is an organized desk. It's perhaps not a sparse desk, but it is an organized desk, and it's for me to have a good work environment. And underneath, you'll see this black and white creature right here. That is our lovely Dane, Isis. She's a sweetheart, and she always loved to be at our feet while we're learning. Probably checking my facts, but Okay. Colored note cards, moving on for reading. Colored note cards are great. And what do I mean when I say this is if you have a struggling reader, putting an index card underneath the sentence that they're reading is helpful, specifically if it's a color that they respond well to. My youngest son loves red. If I put a red index card underneath what he's reading, he pays close attention to what it is that he's reading, and he reads much more seamlessly and fluently. I myself work better with purples or blues. So you just kind of have to play with it, what colors they really pay attention to, what colors they're drawn to, and sliding a note card underneath the sentence they're reading can help draw their attention to it. We can't always follow along with our fingers, so the note card is another way of doing it. Headphones for exterior noise. I don't know if, hopefully if I've done a good sound job, you're not able to hear the vehicles that are driving by. But the room that I'm recording in is stationed fairly close to a road that is busy in the morning and the evening when people are going home for work. And the car noise is very distracting to me while I'm talking to you guys. Hopefully you're not hearing it and being distracted as well. So headphones are a great way to block out exterior sounds and really focus in on what you're doing, especially for silent work. Timers to stay on task. I use these sparingly because this can also cause an anxiety. However, it is a great thing to use for a lot of different learning styles, but specifically here for ones that are easily distracted. If you set a timer and you say, I want you to do this for the next 20 minutes, whatever it may be. But if you set that timer and you say, okay, this is all the time that you have to work on it, so do it, the amount of focus becomes incredible. Again, this can cause a lot of anxiety in some learners, so play with it, see it. If it doesn't work, throw it out the window. If it does work, great, you found another tool for your toolbox. Snacks. Tactile kinesthetic natural learners are going to have a naturally higher metabolism because they fidget quite a bit and they move around a lot, I believe. And I find with all of my students, including myself, snacks go a long way to helping maintain focus and not getting that, my husband lovingly calls it hangriness. You're hungry and you're angry. So snacks. Healthy snacks are the best way to go. Understanding they're going to move and play with things. They're still listening. They're great multitaskers. I have my youngest who would sit at the feet while teaching his sister. He was not yet ready for school, but he would sit at our feet while I would teach older sister, and he would be playing with whatever he could get his hands on and loved it. And I never really thought he was listening until he would correct his sister's answer. on something. And then I thought, wow, he may be playing, but he's actually still listening. Sometimes it's best to teach difficult subjects in the morning. When you're fresh, you're alive and you're awake, and you're not too hyper yet. You're not too fidgety. So difficult subjects taught in the mornings, because sometimes in the afternoon, these types of learners can crash. Make use of movement with your teaching. If you'll recall in the free guide that you downloaded, we talk all about the importance of movement with teaching, that it's not just having someone run laps, it's actually incorporating movement that allows the brain to wake up. So you're going to be crossing that midline of the body. If you were to divide a line down the middle of your symmetrical face with your eyes and your nose and your mouth, if you're crossing the right over left or the left over right, you're helping to connect those connections between the hemispheres and really bring the brain into focus. The brain loves to move, loves to navigate its environment. Let me backtrack. The brain does not like to move. The brain likes to navigate its environment. Movement is essential. When you have a child who's, let's use an older child example. Say I have a 15-year-old. So if I have a 15-year-old, I subtract her age -2. Every 13 minutes, she needs to get up and move around. It's not that she needs to do a whole lot of movement. It's not that we need to do 50 jumping jacks, but staying stationary for that long it can put the brain in like this bored state, and a bored state is not a learning state. We want them active and learning. So make use of movement with teaching.